everyone, and welcome to Live Your Dream TV, the coolest place on the web for entrepreneurs to be inspired, educated, and entertained. My name is Carbo, and I will be your host today. We are here with a genius, guys. I'm so excited that he came to be on our show today. He's going to teach us stuff that we never even thought of before. I'd like to introduce you to Seth Weiner. Are Sonic Promotions.
Yep, Sonic
Okay.
Promos.
Sonic Promos. Okay, cool.
Either one. We get called for Sonic Drive-In Restaurant
Right.
too all the time, so it's okay.
Can I get a?
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
So, your promotional products, and we had talked about like what that really means for someone who owns a business and wants to get something into the hand of their customer or their prospects. And it's not really just pick up a pen or pencil and say this is a great choice. Like there's really a lot that goes into it.
Definitely.
So I want to talk about a couple of things. One, your life as an entrepreneur and kind of not a rags to riches, but let's get a little bit of feedback on that. A couple of valuable messages maybe you could share with our audience about, how to get from an idea to a reality and like some struggles and maybe life lessons from you there. And then just really dig into the promotional materials and how that can help our lives, whether we're running a business that's all by ourselves and we're just trying to take an idea into real life, or whether we have, 100 employees and we're trying to, come out with a new product or something like that. You said that you had started your business with your wife?
No, actually, before I started my business with my wife, I started it not too long out of college.
Okay.
And I had started really as a home-based business, really just bare minimum, put $500 on a credit card, leased a computer from an office, from Staples or whatever, and from there really just started throwing out business cards and letting people know what I did. I had come originally from working with fraternities and sororities when I was in college, so that was the business that I knew. I knew screen printing, I knew embroidery, and I knew college kids' buying habits. So we used to go to the fraternities and sororities and we'd sell them a lot of their merchandise. And then from there, because that cycle changes really almost every semester and it was hard to keep up with who the contacts were, we really just went more for corporate business.
Okay.
And that's really how it developed from just being screen printing and embroidery to more promotional marketing and helping companies to develop themselves.
What does your business look like?
Now we are really a brand management agency. The promotional products are certainly what people know us for, but more and more of our clients are starting to entrust their actual brands to us. They'll provide us with their brand guidelines, they'll make sure that we're putting their logos in the right spot, that the fonts are correct, that the colors match where they need to be, and that is different than just slapping logos on things.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of times people order a pen from 5 different places and the red looks completely different because they didn't really take into consideration the brand guidelines.
You started this business, or maybe even now, like what is your real desire for the business?
For me, I really like the brand management, the agency aspect of our company. I have lots of clients who, they know that they can trust that they get really good work from us, that will always give them the quality items that we've always gone through and vetted, items so that they're not clicking pens that fall apart, or that they've got shirts that don't have sleeves, or their water bottle is leaking, or any of those kinds of melts in the dishwasher, even though it said it wasn't dishwasher safe, which happens all the time, and somehow it's my fault, but that's okay. And we try to come up with a good solution for that. For me, I want to be able to continue to work with people who enjoy working with us, because that's what I really like the most, is I like my clients.
Yeah.
As long as what we're doing serves their needs, then the vision is to continue to do that.
At the point where they feel like they can afford a promotional product to give out for whatever their purpose is, we talked about, why, what the purpose is, and you have a lot to say about picking the right product and almost like interviewing the business owner for, what do you want out of this?
Yes.
What are your customers doing or buying, or, so
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that, because that was an eye-opener for me.
Well, I think, first of all, although I'm happy to sell promotional items, they're not always the answer. I think having a really good key marketing plan will really help to drive whatever the message is. Sometimes it's print, sometimes it's radio, sometimes it's we need to increase your social media outreach. Really asking the questions about, what's your objective? Who is it that you're trying to target? What do you want them to walk away with? Do you want them to, go to your Facebook page? Do you want them to come into your store? Do you want them to, pass your name on to somebody else? Whatever the objective is, from there, that's where the actual plan starts to go into place.
You told me that you actually have some sort of degree or certificate or something that that makes you great.
That makes me great. Oh yes, it's the greatness certificate.
Your great certificate.
Well, I have what's called an MAS, which
Okay.
is a Master Advertising Specialist,
So
through
great.
the Promotional Products Association, and I think it's very important. It's not like I'm a doctor that I have the license to somehow operate, but I think that it tells my clients that I've actually gone above and beyond, and I'm continually going above and beyond.
Yeah.
Whatever industry you're in, you should always be going out and trying to educate yourself as
Right.
much as possible. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, even doctors still go for continuing education. It's
Sure.
not like you become a doctor and then you don't go and learn about what the latest techniques are.
Okay.
For me, right now, my focus is on health and wellness programs and how those can be implemented. My focus is on things like company store programs and how we can work with companies to create online tools that they can use for internal procurement, whether it's of promotional items or even of their office supplies. We have the ability to take a company store and set it up and have our clients who don't want to be keeping track of who orders from which location and really streamline it into something for them.
Really tell, because someone like myself who comes in like, I don't know, pens are nice, I know I don't want this, I know I don't want that, what about a squeezy ball? And that's probably like what people come in like,
Right.
I don't know, what do you got in tie-dye or
Right.
something,
Right.
and then they have
Right.
no idea what they want,
Exactly.
and you know why they, what questions to ask, why they need to know,
It's
like
true.
what their customers are up to, like all of those details that like the average business owner like wouldn't even have thought of.
Right, and sometimes they're not interested,
Okay.
and that's okay, and that's the reason why we talked about. It seems like lots of people are in the promotional products business. There are,
Yeah.
and that's because there are certain needs that are fulfilled on certain different levels. And for us, we really are very much corporate. We really are focused on working with corporations, large organizations, really helping those companies who actually demand the level of service
Right.
and attention that
Sure.
we have. Because we're not going to be able to handle every single, in the same industry that we're in, or when families are doing reunions and want to do 24 t-shirts or whatever,
Right.
that's great business. It's just not an area that we have really focused on,
Right.
because we really are more agency than we are sort of just a general practitioner.
And when you have all that marketing knowledge and that background,
That's true.
you really want to put that to use.
That is true.
So for our entrepreneurs out there who are building their businesses, I'd like to ask you, you're definitely, you definitely have a mind for marketing, and you know what the customers need in order to take the next action. But if for our business owners, what do you tell someone who you've already been through the struggle? What would you tell them as for how to I guess take care of their customers best?
Well, I would say hire your spouse, which everyone would tell you you're crazy. Bringing up my wife was definitely one of the best decisions that we made.
Yeah.
And well, I guess she made. But it took some convincing. So I think that really, for me, you have to have a good team.
Okay.
I'd like to make sure that I have staff that is smarter than me, knows more than I do, is as engaged. Yeah, and that's why I really like working with the people that I have. And I feel that if they understand what sort of drives me and how I've been doing things, they're very quick to do the exact same thing. Having my spouse work with me has sort of grounded me a little bit,
right,
to enable me to sort of get more of a feel for what I'm really good at. I mean, the reason that I brought her on is because she's really good at the things that I'm not good at.
right.
And that works for us. Other people, again, would think that, that's,
we're crazy.
But it's enabled me to actually further my own goals, to have her there.
Great. All right. Well, I guess I'd like to wrap up with, I want to pull some knowledge from you. Maybe a book recommendation.
Oh, book recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about the thank you economy because we were talking about Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
The honest answer is I'm not a big book reader.
Okay.
I've been asked many times, like, my book, and I'm not a big book reader. I read a lot of children's books because I have young kids. So I do try to steer them towards the books that I like to read, like, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, of course, is one of my favorite books. And Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day is also
I have all those in my library.
Also one of my favorite books. But I did enjoy reading The Thank You Economy. It actually really sort of goes back to talking about the time when we used to have a butcher and a barber and a cobbler and a baker and all those kinds of things, and how now with social media we almost have that voice back, where we have the ability to impact change simply by sort of making our feelings known. It used to be you could walk in and the butcher knew what kind of meat you wanted.
Right.
Now you have sort of that town hall impact. Reading on things that are related to what interests you, and always try to educate yourself on your industry.
Yeah, I really like that piece because you have mastered everything regarding promotional materials, and I think that's a great tip. Like, whatever you're into, just like learn it like the back of your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And music. I always say music is really like a key thing for me. It has nothing to do with reading, but I know that with music, I am able to share a lot with people, knowing what their musical tastes are, because I tend to consider myself to be fairly knowledgeable about music and pop culture. I can relate to people with things even if I don't know them, because I understand what maybe moves them. So
that's awesome.
But that's all part of being in just customer service and that kind of business.
Cool. I'm getting a lot out of this. I'm going to watch this interview a couple times. Awesome. Well, thanks very much for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's have a quick website.
Oh, sure. You can find us at sonicpromos.com. You can take a look at some really good products at signaturesonic.com. We really like to have people check us out on Facebook, Sonic Promos, facebook.com /Sonic Promos, and then our Twitter handle is @Sonic Promos, and we're on YouTube and Google Plus and pretty much everything is posted.
You guys have some videos up, right?
We do actually. We have a lot.
Oh, you guys do something cool. Go there to their YouTube page because they do some cool stuff up there when they get new products in, right?
That's right. We do. And we have a game called Promotional Minute to Win It that we do with some of our vendors, and that's Sonic Promos TV. So you check this out. Well, that's a good thing. That makes a good interviewer.
And you saw my dog website,
that's right,
so we're sharing.
Exactly.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for watching today. Again, you know that your passion truly is our passion, and it is our mission to go out there and help one more person live their dream. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.